All right, y'all. Let me do this without being. Dang, I messed up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of This Might Get Deep podcast. I'm your host, Ariel May, and today I'm excited. I got one of my best friends, one of my day ones, my dog, with me on the podcast today, and this might get deep. And if you are a regular viewer here, listener, you know it's going to get deep. This person, Kiwi, known as Kiwis, a.k.a. Kiwizzle, a.k.a. I ain't going to say her government unless she want it.
No, please don't.
Okay, I'm afraid. But this person has been my friend for many years. We met in college.
Probably like before that.
A little bit before college. And we have a story together. We have a journey together. And I wanted to bring her because she has her own personal story that I feel will inspire. And as you all know, if you pay attention to the podcast, I like to have guests on here who will be impactful to not just the listeners and viewers, but to me, and also even leave here maybe rediscovering something with themselves or doing some healing or leaving some type of impact, whether it's on y'all or us, me, right? So I'm excited for today. I think that should have had my box of tissues because we go so far back. It's just so many layers to our friendship. Anyway, round of applause. Clock it for my best friend Kiwi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome. How you feel? How do you feel being in front of this mic?
I really feel fine.
Okay.
I'm a little cold. I'm going to be honest.
I'm hungry.
I'm a little cold. I'm a little hungry. But it's all good. I'm fine, though.
Okay, good.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm really glad that you are here. I know before we get into it that I asked you to come on specifically to share your faith and to share your story and your journey. I want to talk about like how we met. But yes. I know like that's a big deal. And I know this will be like your first time actually speaking on certain things.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you for trusting me to be able to do that with in front of the world, or for those who gonna watch. But I really do appreciate you being saying yes. And I also hope that after this conversation is healing for you and I. Why am I getting emotional already?
I don't know.
But yeah, I'll start there. So how is there anything that I missed? How would you like to introduce yourself to the world?
Just Kiwi.
Just Kiwi.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of things. Like, I don't know if you ever notice, like I say random facts or something. Yeah, or I learn something and then I try to do something else. But I just be going with the flow, honestly. Yeah.
I want to say, really, what I just thought about, what you need to do is, or what you should do is try to get a degree up in like, be a psychologist or a therapist or something. So you can start getting paid. Because I know you do a lot of that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll think about that.
See,
but
you're doing kingdom work because you don't even want to do it for the money. You just doing it because God wouldn't allow you to.
But sometimes I will say like it is a lot. So yeah, that's something I gotta be like fully like no, I want to commit to it. Yeah, I'm right now. No, okay. I'll think about it, but right now, no, because there's a lot of stuff I still gotta deal with myself. So before I try to help other people, I help as much as I can though. But yeah, some days, like honestly, some days I don't even feel like really talking for real. I just be chilling, listening to music, or playing a game. But yeah,
she about to get deep already. No. Let's talk about how we met first. So. What I remember, did we meet through Missy?
Yeah, or
I know. So me and Kiwi hooped together in college, but before that we were friends. We had got hecka cool from a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
Because she was like one of your best friends, and she was one of mine at the time too.
Yeah.
And she brought you around, and then me and you started hanging out and kicking it. And really, I can't even remember how. I just remember like. You really became like my right hand, like all the time.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how either. I do remember we was kicking with mutual friends, and yeah, then after that it was like it was up and it was stuck.
To the point where we was hooping together. We was working together. We worked at
We
we
worked
worked at Walgreens together.
Walgreens,
We
Home
worked at
Depot.
Home Depot together. And then from there, I just was always, so I always left Kiwi because Kiwi's work ethic is impeccable. If she gonna get a job, she gonna do that job to 100 times 100, their fullest potential. Me on the flip side, I'm a half step the job because I'm just not that person that just want to have a job, like, you know. So I'm entrepreneur at heart. So we was at Walgreens together, then I left Kiwi at Walgreens. Then we went to Home Depot together, and then I left again.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Walgreens was like a funny time though. I don't know if you remember our coworker. She used to always say like random stuff to us, and she'd always be like, "I'm happy for you."
Okay, yeah, 'cause we would mimic that. We would say that.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I ain't trying to say nobody's name. It's one
yeah.
dude I remember too that I wasn't really fond of.
I think I know you're talking about, but I ain't gonna say no
I
names.
ain't gonna say no name.
Yeah, but yeah, that was an experience working at Walgreens.
I thought it was dope because how many people can say that they work together with their friend in multiple jobs. And then even when I had my daughter, you was somebody who was heavily there. Kylie, y'all called each other Booty at the time. I don't know where Booty came from, but that was
it just happened
nickname.
one day. Yeah.
And my daughter just fell in love with Kiwi, and you were really like, honestly, like a godmom to her, for real. If I needed help with her, you was always there. Even when I didn't need help, you was always there. You was like, where my girl at? You would pick her up for me. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for you, and of course others, but you were one of the main people who really helped me, like, during that time of, like, being a student in college and having a child with no help. Like, it's my dog right here, for real.
I'm telling you, I used to have Kylie on a mission.
I know.
We would be going to the park, going get some ice cream. I would have it all around because I'm like,
house with you too.
Yeah, because I was like, I gotta get this girl outside.
Mm-hmm.
If I keep her in this house, she gonna just be running around.
Because Kylie, the way she is today, she's like, so my daughter is very, very active. She want to play all the sports. She want to go everywhere she want to go. If we in the house one day, we got a day off, we don't got to go nowhere, she instantly, Mom, where are we going? What are we doing today? So even when Kylie was like, I feel like around 2 is when you really started taking her, because she was walking. But yeah, she'd been walking before too.
Yeah.
But that's when she was really like being out, and y'all was going places, and you was taking her, because we got heck of videos of y'all. It's that one video on my phone where I was walking behind y'all.
He was dancing.
Y'all was dancing. Yeah. So stuff like that.
Yeah, like if y'all was way back in the day, if y'all was following us on Snapchat, y'all would know we had Snapchat turned. Don't try to follow me now because I don't really be on there. I won't be back. Yeah, but those are the good times.
Those are the good times. So that's our history. It's more to it, but I feel like we've been friends for so long. I can't remember a lot of that back then. A lot of stuff I remember is like basketball in college, but just always us being together, like inseparable.
Yeah.
I want to move into just who you are, right, as a person. Because again, a reason why I brought you on is because you are one of my friends that are always positive. Even now I will say, of course, I know nobody perfect.
Yeah.
But when I think of you, like, even in the moments where you are upset at somebody or you just ain't feeling somebody, it's still like your emotion is still like, you don't want to be mean, or you don't want to be like an out of pocket person. Like, your feelings may just be hurt because of how much you love and how much you give out.
Yeah.
So when somebody do you the opposite of that, your emotions obviously reflect that. But even then, you still, to me, still do it with grace. Like, even now, if you call me and like you upset at somebody, you'd be like, you would tell me how you feel, right? Or like you don't want to talk to the person, but it's just like that emotion in the moment. And then you do a really good job at like self-reflecting. So you have a human moment, and you'll be like, yeah, I ain't gonna talk to that person. I don't feel like doing this. But then like a couple minutes later or sometime after, you'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna just call that person. I'm gonna talk it through, because you know what? I probably is not like you do a really good job at self-reflecting, to me.
Yes. Thank you.
How would you? You making faces. How
No,
would you feel?
I'm not making faces at that, but I would say like it took a lot of work to do that. Because before I act off of emotion and be like, somebody like make me mad, oh, it's up, I don't care. Now it's just like I can't do that. You know, I gotta think about it, and I try to in a way like talk to somebody when I'm calm, not when I'm upset, because then I can't get everything out.
Right.
So and it takes a lot of patience too, a lot of work, a lot of work though, but it's so much better that way to just not act off your emotions and take some time, think about something, process it, then talk about it. Just because somebody wants you to talk then and there don't mean you have to. Yeah. So, and it works out a lot better for me. Because if I, every time I got upset, if I said something, the first thing on my mind, yeah, it'll be up.
It's not gonna be good.
Yeah, it's not gonna be good. So yeah, I just feel like it's better to be that way. Just chill, and it's so much easier. It takes a lot less energy to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to know. I guess this is a good segue into like your journey, right? Your story that I would like you to share. I'm wondering, and we can come back to it, right? Because I think that's a part of like mental health.
Yes.
And I've witnessed you really work on yourself in seasons where most people probably would have given up. So I'm just curious if that plays a part into that. But my friend here has, I want to call it a beautiful story. I really do, because I see God all through it. And I want you to share it. So if it's okay for me to say, Kiwi is currently in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And you've been in a wheelchair for a couple years now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
we
been a minute.
We can't remember. 2018?
Yeah, so much stuff, but
or something. And
yeah, been a while.
Yeah, and obviously what y'all heard me saying was we played basketball together, we worked together, her and my daughter dancing, all this stuff, right? Because how old were you? Do you know?
Hey, you in my business. Not playing. I was like,
I always get your age wrong, bruh.
In the middle, like middle 20s or something. I don't know.
Like early 25 or something.
Yeah, early, like my early 20s.
Yeah, so around that time, she had a very traumatic experience. And I'm going to let her tell it, but there was a very traumatic and life-changing experience that she went through that happened out of nowhere. And I think obviously changed your life.
Yeah.
Changed your life with friends and your family, people around you.
Yeah. But
again, the reason why I want to talk about it is because your faith that I saw and witnessed throughout that time, it just, I talk about it to people to this day. I always, like, people that don't even know you, I'm sorry, I'll be telling your story because it's just like, no way we'll sit and complain about something and not recognize. Like, I think oftentimes we sit and complain about things and not really take a step back to look at how blessed we are or how, you know, things could be different. And for me, in your situation, it's very rare, but your faith is stronger than a lot of people I know, you know? And you've motivated and encouraged me through a lot of stuff, even through that time. So anyway, I just want you to share. So I don't know where to start. Well, okay, so because you are in a wheelchair right now.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me say, I know this probably like regular to you, but for me to watch you get into the chair by yourself was like a really, really proud friend moment of mine, because you my friend, so I never want to see you to have to like struggle for nothing. So initially I'm like, I'll pick you up and put you in the chair. But even like today, just being with you, I'm noticing little things. You're like, no, I got it. Put your seatbelt on yourself. I'll do it. And I know you've been doing this because you got your strength back and you had it back for a while. But for me as your friend, like, I'm very proud and grateful to see you not give up on yourself and want to like, nah, bro. Yeah. Like, I'm not, you know, I still have functions.
Yeah, when we went out to eat for my birthday, like on that Sunday.
This recent birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ashley was getting me out the car, and she's so used to lifting my legs up, and I'm telling her, like, no, I could do it. I got my legs. But I think it's just something that if you don't see me every day, you wouldn't know.
True.
Yeah, because I'll be doing a lot actually. Yeah. Like, that's why I go places with my mom and stuff. Even though I use a sliding board, because You know my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her trying to pick me up is, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's how I go places with my mom. Or just anybody in general that they maybe can't pick me up. So, I got the, the sliding board and stuff and do stuff like that. But, yeah, it's just, in my mind, it's just like something like, if you don't do it, how you know if you can or you can't,
And then what if you're in a situation where somebody can't?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like if you wasn't able to write or something, and you just be like, well, I can't write, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things. You have to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that's,
well, let's start there then. I feel like, okay, I could say what I remember a little bit. So I remember we were supposed to go to this is where your story starts for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was around my birthday, and we were going to New York. Remember,
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And it was all of us, a group, our friends at the time, or still our friends now, but
Yeah.
some of them. But we were going to New York, and I remember one day you was like, bro, I'm feeling sore. And you was working in the paint department at Home Depot, and you was slinging them 1 gallon.
Yeah.
Oop, fix my mic. You was slinging them 1 gallon. So I'm like, okay, maybe you just sore from work. I'm like, maybe it's the paint department. And you like, nah, bro. Like, you like, I just feel sore. And I'm thinking, like, you just need to stress. Like, I really was downplaying your situation. I think everybody was. I think I remember you was with Rod one day. He was downplaying it. And then it was to the point where it kept like, you started to feel weak.
Yeah.
From what you was telling us. This is my side. And next thing you know, you in the hospital for it.
Yeah.
And then I'll let you tell your side from.
Well, how it started was, I was still going to work full time, working like 8 hours. Every shift, probably like 2 days off. And it was getting to the point I'm getting up out the bed and I'm like, hold up. Like, I can't even get out the bed for real. What's going on? And then I went to the doctor. And I'm telling like, yeah, something's going on. Like my joints, I really can't move and whatever. Then they checked me out and she told me, oh, yeah, we don't know. It isn't like nothing wrong. Just go take some Tylenol. And I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, if I knew what I knew now, I would have did stuff totally different. Mm-hmm. And I want to add on that if you got something going on with you, make sure they take that blood test. Mm-hmm. You're going to find majority of the stuff you need in some blood. Mm-hmm. I didn't go take no blood test. I just went off of what somebody told me, the doctor. That's supposed to be professional. But, yeah, so I left the appointment, and I still was doing like day-to-day stuff, but stuff was getting harder for me to do, to the point where I'm barely able to get out the car. I can't tie my shoe. I have to sit down. I can't stand up for long periods. And I remember even going to work one time, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I can't be here. And she was like, you didn't know that before you got here? And I said, ma'am, I'm going. I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. I'm not staying here. And it was just getting really bad. And then it just got to a point where it's like, oh, this is real. Because I thought it was something like, maybe I'm doing too much at work. I need to stop going so hard in the paint. But it started getting like worse over time. And I remember I was like at home and I'm like struggling trying to take a bath or shower. And it just got to the point where it's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I had so many like MRIs, CAT scans, because we can't figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. And it was just so many things. Like, I'm probably even missing some stuff, but I had so many different tests, and it took a while to even figure out what's going on with my body. Mm-hmm. And I remember it got to a point where, like, I couldn't even hold my neck up. Mm-hmm. And that's at the point where I was like, I need to go to the doctor. And I feel like if I didn't go to the doctor at the time I did, I probably would not be here for real. Mm-hmm. But it got to the point like my neck was like back, and people had to push my head forward. And I remember just at the ER, and I'm like just in there like sweating, and my heart was beating so fast. And then,
it's okay. Take your time. You don't have to rush, like, at all.
yes.
Do y'all have some tissue? At any point too, if you want to stop, we can. I don't care about none of this.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. Like, if at any point, like, we can cut all this off. It's okay. Thank you, Percy. That's Percy, y'all.
Damn, cut my eye. All right. So I'm back, but yeah, I remember going to the room, finally getting a room, and she was like, "Yeah, we gonna give you IV," and I'm thinking like, "Oh, I'm about to be out of here. I'm not worried about this." And then it was like they couldn't find my veins, so I had like an IV coming out my neck, and after that, it was like that was the start of me like staying there for like 6 months. And I was just like, and I was still kind of in denial. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna bounce back. I'm about to leave, and I'm going through all this stuff in there. Like I had dialysis, chemo.
Did you have pneumonia at one time too, or something?
Yeah, when I had got transferred to a different hospital in Santa Clara, and I got caught pneumonia, and then had to go back to the hospital I was at. Yeah, so it was like so many different things happening, and I just still was like, yeah, I'm gonna be cool, you know. And I don't, and this stuff just kind of went downhill, honestly, and it's so many things I don't even know what to even pinpoint at, but yeah, it was like one time I had to do breathing treatments. I got to the point where I couldn't breathe on my own, so I'm on a trach, and then I was on like a breathing machine, and then at one point in time, whoever was doing my breathing treatment turned the machine up so high my lungs collapsed, one of my lungs. So now on top of everything I'm dealing with, now I'm dealing with my lungs, one of my lungs collapsing. And then I had to be on morphine, and that's I would probably never do that again. It's really too strong. So I was doing that pain meds, and then dealing with like everybody coming to see me, the people that did, and it was just so many things happening. Yeah, it was just like it was a lot.
Do you remember what the disease was that the name's so long? I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember. It's called necrotizing autoimmune myopathy.
Right, I remember.
Hey, period. No, it's like it's a disease that affects your muscle cells, from my understanding, and that's what was happening. And when I went in there, my white blood cells, which help you stop infections and stuff, were super low. So that's why things went haywire like it did, because my body's trying to fight off something it can't really fight off. So yeah, and that's why I just lost all that muscle mass. So basically, it literally feels like starting over as like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to learn everything again.
Because I remember, so like even from your side of the story, I remember, I actually can't remember when I first I remember you got admitted to the hospital and we were coming, but it was still like kind of the same, like, oh, you're going to get out.
Yeah.
And not really understanding like what was happening to you. It was just like every day it was like getting drastically worse really fast. And I remember a point where I think it's when you was having to eat through the tube down your throat. And then it was around that point where you cut your hair off, right? In the hospital, somebody
It
came and cut
finally,
it?
my mom did when I went to like rehab in Santa Clara.
This was during chemo or after?
After, like
Okay.
way after, cause I still had some locks, some hair, and it was just getting to the point. It's like you can't really say that,
Yeah.
and you gotta just let it go. And then I was just like, yeah, just cut it off. And then I cut it off, and I'm like, this is crazy.
And that's, I think for me, seeing you on the feeding machine or whatever they feeding you down your throat, the breathing machine, and you couldn't talk. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember this part, because I think at this time you didn't remember a lot because they had you on all the meds.
Yeah.
But you couldn't talk, and we had to like write stuff down, and we had to like it was like we was writing it down, and then it was something else we was doing, but it was still very difficult to know what you wanted, because
Yeah.
at some point you just couldn't, like, the disease attacked your muscles like slowly but every day. And in that moment too, I realized that everything is a muscle. Like, you
Yeah.
couldn't talk because your muscles, you couldn't eat because your muscles, you couldn't blink because your muscles. Like, everything is a muscle. And so
I was still blinking though.
But
That's
you
the
were-
only thing that actually stayed, like moving my mouth and blinking. Everything else, yeah.
was still staying, but it was still like you were still like,
Yeah.
it was like slow delay. Like, even when it was moments we trying to talk to you, it was like you was like alert but like couldn't like tell us nothing, you know. And I think for me, that's when I started to like lose faith. And I remember I called my dad because he a doctor, and I was just telling him what's going on. I called my grandparents. I'm telling them what's going on, because I'm like, I like, tell me something, like, pray, tell me something. And excuse me, my dad was on the phone. I put him on the phone with the doctors. I'm like, no, my dad is a doctor. Like, y'all need to talk to him, tell him, because I feel like they wasn't. I feel like it was one point, I can't remember the doctor, but I remember he looked like, and I feel like he had gave up on you. And I feel like he was telling us in so many words, like, any day now, you're not going to make it. And he was talking to my dad, telling my dad what happened, to where my dad was responding to me like, any day now, your friend's not going to make it. And I was like, bruh, no. And I felt like everybody was giving up on you. And even myself, I remember coming in there, and I remember one moment I was crying so hard. I was like, boo-hoo, like you was passed. And I'm sitting, I'm holding your hand, I'm just like crying. And then you woke up and you was looking at me like, girl, what the hell wrong with you? Because you was still here. But it was like everybody was already counting you out. And for me to see you in this really low place, I started counting you out. And I was just like, I've never, like, I grew up, I'm from Oakland. So I'm having people in high school pass from gun violence and dying. And it's like, I never really felt a connection to someone passing. It was like normalized. And so I always thought that even when people in my family passed, I never had that close connection. So I always thought like, I can handle death. And you weren't gone, obviously. But it was just like me already counting you out, because my faith was so low. And I was like, I've never felt this way about somebody. And just the thought of possibly losing you was like, I was finna jump off a bridge. Like, I couldn't, like, take that. And I'm coming to the hospital every day. I'm massaging your feet, putting lotion on them. I'm putting chapstick on your lips.
Yeah.
I'm getting the eye boogers out your eyes. I'm staying the night in the hospital. Like, I was really like, you know, I'm going to be here. And it was one day I remember, you had some really sweet nurses, bruh. Like, you have some nurses that really did. They was better than the doctors.
I still like one of them I'm still in contact with.
It's probably the one I remember. One day I was sitting there and I'm just boohoo crying. The nurse, she come in there, she do all your stuff, and she like grabbed your hand and started praying with you, and you was praying with her, and then I started like joining in. Like, I didn't say anything. I was just holding holding your hands, praying too. But it was multiple moments where I remember like nurses coming in and praying with you, and you never giving up. Like, it was moments where I'm talking to you, and you just like, you're encouraging me. I should be encouraging you and telling you it's gonna be okay, and you sitting there encouraging me, telling me it's gonna be okay, you know. And you never gave up on yourself. It was never a moment where you was sitting there and you was like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like you, and I don't know if you thought that, but you never spoke that, and you never allowed us to come in there and feel that from you. I remember moments where you were sad,
Yeah.
and you were crying because maybe you're like, you know, what's happening, but you never like said, I don't think I'm gonna make it. You kept praying and you kept faith, and you was like, you knew God was gonna bring you out of it. And then I remember the switch where now you out the breathing, you out the feeding thing, and you can eat stuff. You able to talk a little bit, like you able to move, like you just slowly start coming back. And I'm just like, everybody, like the doctor, everybody like, what the heck? Because for the longest, the doctors couldn't even tell us what was happening with your body. We like, how did y'all not know
Yeah,
what's
they
going
really
on?
didn't. They really didn't know.
For months, they didn't
Like
know.
they couldn't figure it out. Then when my mom and my uncle was like, we gonna move her somewhere else, where so we could figure something out. They was like, no, they gonna do the same thing we doing. We gonna figure this out. And it was just like I was going through so many things. Now that I look back at it, I probably didn't have to go through like the dialysis and stuff like that, and all the other little things. But most of that stuff I feel was like trial and error. We trying to figure stuff out. Yeah, like really trying to figure things out. It was, but mama just like, yeah.
What was when you were going through that stuff, if you can remember, like, because you always kept faith, like, how was that process for you? Like, was there ever a moment where maybe you really weren't as faithful, but you was just trying to convince yourself, or that was really like what it was, like you just was like really believing that and never and not giving up on yourself?
To be honest, I really didn't have no time to even think about like, oh, what if I don't make this? I was like, half the time I was up for like 5 seconds. Cause I don't know if you remember, it was a little short period where I was sedated for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and I remember I would wake up for like 5 seconds, go back to sleep. And I remember like seeing some of y'all in there, go back to sleep. I remember seeing my mama and all that, but I really didn't have time to even think about that. Like, oh, what's gonna happen? Or yeah, I didn't really have time. I didn't really think about it too much. Like how I am now, where I'm just like goofy, and that's how I was in there. I could have not felt good at all. I was taking the nurse phone, listening to music, and we cracking jokes because she was the only one that could understand me. So I'm in there talking about the other nurse or something. And she understand me. She heck of laughing, but they don't understand what we talking about because they can't physically hear me. But yeah, it was. I never just sat there and thought like I'm not gonna get through this. And then I feel like even now, how I am now, I'm gonna try like A1, A2, A3, A4 before I be like, okay, I gotta go to B. Yeah, I'm gonna try everything before I be like, yeah, I just can't do it. And if I feel like I can't do it, I'm gonna take some time, then come back to it. But yeah, I just never really thought about that. And I feel like that's very important when you're going through something. Yeah, just focus on what you can focus on, one thing at a time. And if you're going through something traumatic, don't focus on what you couldn't do before. Focus on the things you can do that you used to couldn't do before you got in that situation. Yeah, like when I got out the hospital, I couldn't even like open a water bottle or put my drink up to my mouth. And it's just like those are little things.
Or even hold a spoon.
Yeah, or feed myself and stuff, or a whole bunch of stuff. And I feel like you gotta focus on the little things you can do. Yeah. And it makes it so much easier. Because if I sit here and focus like, well, I used to hoop, I used to do this and that, this is going to be a long ride. Yeah. So I feel like you got to focus on the little things you can do, the little process you are making, and go from there instead of focus on like the bigger picture. Because it takes those little things to get to the bigger picture. Yeah, so I think that's what's really helpful too. What really helped me too, is focus on the little things that I am doing. The little things I can do and go from there. But Sorry to get off track, but
No, dude, on track. I was gonna ask you, did you ever go through a period of time of like being depressed, like
oh,
maybe after?
when I got out the hospital and I came back home, I was like depressed for like 6 months, and I'll call Martinez like every day, and she always pick up and we just be talking. If I just wanted to be there and be like silent, she was gonna be silent, or she was gonna talk, and I would talk to her a lot. And then I had my other friend that I've been knowing since the 6th grade, Naomi, and I talked to her too, and she actually helped me be so positive and gave me tools to like, you gonna be cool, it's gonna be all right. It be like she's always so positive, so that helped me too. But yeah, I was really depressed because it's like I went from around the clock care to going back home, and that's not around the clock care. That's just one person, my mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went from around the clock care to that, and it was just different. And then I was, I don't know. Well, you don't know. I'm gonna explain it, but I want to say like going from getting up to doing whatever you want to do to like having to depend on somebody for everything is takes a lot of patience for real. And that was the kind of like the hardest thing for me to do. To have to depend on other people to do stuff for me. So that put me in depressed stuff too. And then I would try to like find things to do to help me. Like, I listen to music. I was even trying to, I was drawing, trying to do this, trying to do that. And then I started playing a game with my partner, which I told you about a lot, that live in Atlanta. Skies, what's up with you? Yeah, we've been playing a game for so long, and I started playing a game with her. And it just take me away from that, and then we just play, have a good time. Yeah, so it's just like, you got to find like different outlets, whatever that may be, yeah. And that's what kind of helped me. But yeah, I was really depressed coming back home because it's like you really expecting it to be something and it's totally different. Like I thought if you would have asked me then, I thought I was gonna be outside in the club, turned up.
Well,
Like, hey, I'm
are.
alive. I wouldn't go to the club like that though. But yeah, like I thought it was like a big block party, and it really wasn't. And I think I could speak on also like how people are during the time, like not everybody, but when you first deal with the traumatic experience and you go back home and then everybody like, oh yeah, we love you, those first couple weeks, and then it's like, where is everybody at? I had that realization too. So it was just it was a lot. It was a lot because you thinking it's gonna be something it's something completely different for real.
I wanted to ask like, cause I mean obviously I can only imagine like how that plays an effect on your mental health, but like again I think that because you went through that situation and made it out, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like that did more positive than anything. And I think that, like, because I feel like if you in that situation, you like, if I made it through that, I could make it through whatever, like you said.
Yeah.
But has your relationship with God, like, how has that either grown or changed from that time to now, and even with how you handle things? Because I can imagine it's still difficult, like you said, because you can't do the things you used to, and then it is just your mom, and your mom is like older, and it's just her, right? Which is such a blessing that your mom is able. First of all, every time I see your mom,
she ain't that old now.
She ain't that old, but
Mama,
it's still
I love
you. It's still a blessing that your mom is able, you know. And every time I see your mom looked the exact same from when I met her to now. Your mom don't look no different, which is crazy.
That's because shout out to moms because she does my skincare too. She be up on the skincare.
Your mom really don't look no different.
Yeah, she don't play about the skin at all.
She doing that Korean skincare?
Hey, mind your business.
But anyway, I wanted to know, like, how, like, your relationship with God, how has that either grown, or what is that like from then and now?
Um, it never left. Honestly, it never left. And every day I get up, I still pray. But I think when I am praying, I more so am speaking stuff to existence. You know how sometimes people can be like, you know, God, thank you for helping pay this bill. I'm talking like I done already paid that bill.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
And, like everything I
price is
speak,
paid.
yeah. Everything when I'm talking to God and I'm praying, everything I say, I done already got it. That's how I look at things. I don't say, yeah, thank you for helping me with this or that. It's already paid. Like, I don't be worried about none of that because I don't think about it, because you have to also remember you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like you block your blessing when you're like, yeah, I ain't going to be able to pay that. But it ain't came yet.
Yeah.
If it's tomorrow, let's see what happens tomorrow. I know sometimes stuff get a little tricky, but yeah, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait till the next day, 11:59. Then I'm going to figure out.
Fact.
Yeah, then I'm going to figure out if I could do something or not. But even then, if you can't do something, there's ways around everything. Yeah, like stuff like that, like material stuff, is no point of worrying yourself about it. Like, I can understand if it's a house, your apartment or something, but even then, you got to know you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And you got to go from there. Because I feel like with negativity, it's so easy to get caught. It's so easy to get trapped and be like, yeah, I just accepted defeat. And it's like, no, we got to keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why I am so positive. Because I'll be like, no, I'm about to try this 1,000 times before I'll be like, no, I can't do it. And I think that's the big thing in this whole situation, or this whole experience. And I don't think I strayed away from God or anything changed. It's still the same, because nothing ever changed with it. Yeah. I always like kept that there and still do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And pray and, you know, just thank him that I'm here. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think nothing's changed. I think it's still the same. Yeah, I don't think anything changed with it. Or
I would say, like, for the change for me was just growth, like elevated, because even with your I ain't gonna lie, bro, even with your situation, like, because my faith was so low, I was disappointed in myself. I'm like, dang, I gave up, like, before anything was even happened. I lived like a man. The doctor, my dad, people tell me what it's gonna be, opposed to like trusting God, you know. And then I think I was even in a space where I was still learning. I was very early with my own personal relationship with God, because my grandmother is the reason why, like, I am who I am and introduced me to Christ and all the things early. So for me, I never did my own personal, like, relationship building when it came to God. So I remember calling my grandmother, and she was like, you know, sometimes you just have to pray for God's will to be done. You know, sometimes we go and we asking God for what we want, but sometimes, you know, we have to pray for his will to be done because it's better. And so I remember I was just like, dang, like, I have to stop this. And I'm being so honest, I was like, I have to stop asking God to, like, keep her here. I was just, like, so thrown off. I'm like, maybe I need to stop asking God to, like, keep her here. I'm like, I don't know what God is going to do. But then in my mind, I'm like, oh, my God, that means God is not going to keep her here. And I was just like, but then I was like, I can't go against God. And I was just like, God, let your will be done. And not even knowing, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't have that own personal relationship with God to have built that trust and to know him, you know. And I think that, again, watching you really taught me a lot on how to surrender, to trust him, and to really, like, believe and have faith, and not to believe a man over God, you know. And I think that I was so caught up in what everybody else was saying. I never had moments of stillness to be able to just like really just be present and pray. And not just was so worried about losing you. I think that was having the most control over me. So I would say, like, after that situation and seeing, like, cause seeing somebody for the first time, like, this was all for me. You want to breathe into and eating like that and stuff. I was like, there's no way you can come back from that. I'm like, how do somebody, like, go that far down and come back? And to see it happen, I'm just like, there's nothing too big for God to do, And I'm like, I'm sitting here not believing it can happen, and it's happening right in front of my eyes. So for me, my faith grew. That's why I said, like, your story, I'll be telling it like it's my story, because I literally seen it with my own eyes. I seen God work with my own eyes, and people, like, for me, that was a miracle. Like, literally, to see how low you had gotten, and then to see you now, like, bro, you just put yourself in the chair by yourself, and for me to think that you wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
So for me, and then even just my sense of gratitude, because I can't remember when it was, but I remember having a lot of moments that I never shared with you, where I would be praying and I would think of you and I'd be praying for you, and I'd just be thanking God, and I'd just be like, so grateful that you made it, and just so grateful that I was able to go through that experience with you and to be a witness to that, because of what that did for me. And moving on, like, wanting you to come on this podcast, like, what that can do for other people. And I just remember, I was talking to Mook, and I just broke down crying, and I'm just like, thank you, Jesus. Like, you here, and he really brought you through. And I think I even remember texting you from there. And so my relationship with God actually grew, and that's like a very huge transition in my life when it comes to my life spiritually, because of that. And also just hearing you speak, I'm realizing that, like, I have a little guilt as a friend.
Take your time.
Because although I was there with you in that time, I think about Ashley. I'm so grateful for Ashley, because every time Ashley tell me, like, she picking you up, she taking you to a game, y'all going to LA, she take you to get something to eat, like, thank you, Percy. Everybody give it up for Percy. I don't say nothing, but I beat myself up about it, because I know that, unfortunately, you have to depend on other people to get out, to see outside, to just do anything. And for me, that's why your birthdays are so important for me. And I forgot her birthday twice, y'all. And I beat myself up so bad about it, because I let the world and everything that I have going on be so much bigger and greater, to where, I forget things like that. But that's why now for your birthday, I'm like, this my job. Like, I take on such a huge responsibility for your birthday. I'm like, what you want to do? Or we be outside the club. I be having that wheelchair. We spinning around. I don't even go out no more,
Turned up.
But, like, and that's because, I do carry some guilt as a friend, because I feel like after the hospital and things, I don't think I was as present. And it's because, like, everybody has life going on, And I know, although that my situation is different to yours, I always would beat myself up about, like, how able I am, and how I feel like I could have shown up more for you after, and even now, and again, that's why I say I'm so grateful for Ashley, because Ashley picks you up. She takes you to places. She plans stuff. And I think for me, I just let life pass me by. I let my own personal things that I got going on as being a mom, or like whatever struggles, and that I let that stop me from, showing up for you specifically as a friend. I say that it's complicated because you live far, because I can't pick you up. And, like, even today, I felt some guilt when I picked you up and put you in the car. I'm like, nigga, you light. I was like, what the
Well,
heck?
thank you.
I was like, you be watching your figure. No, but it's just like I can do it, you know, and it doesn't take nothing to schedule time to spend time with you, you know. And I even sitting here and thinking about like how much you went through and how distraught I was thinking I wasn't gonna have you here as a friend anymore, and I do have you here, and I think that, you know, sometimes I take that for granted. And this is me honestly talking this out in real time and even sharing it with you. I don't know why I chose this damn whatever podcast, but I didn't plan to say any of this, but just thinking about it and being real with myself, like I do want to say that because I hear you talk about, you know, how you had this big group of friends and slowly, you know, people just start leaving. You know, because you're not able to get up and meet them. People aren't getting up and meeting you and coming to still see you, check on you, whatever. And although I'm still here, every time I think about you, bro, you know, hey, even if I'm not having a conversation, I'm texting you like, I love you, I miss you, I'm thinking about you. Yeah. But to me, as a friend, that's not enough. And so, you know, hearing about how you lost people and how people wasn't sticking beside you, or they might have been here in the beginning and now they gone, you know. I don't know, I just have this guilt. And I apologize if I ever made you feel like, you know, that I was going to be one of those people, or that what I had going on was way more important. Yeah. And I think that it's just something, and maybe I could speak for others or maybe not, but like, it's hard to navigate and figure out how do you still show up, because I've never had a friend where I was hooping with and then now can't walk, you know, like, but it's not that hard to figure out and navigate. Like I said, Ashley, I'm going to keep giving Ashley her shout out because she does it. Yeah. You know, she picking you up, she taking you
shout out to Ash.
Ashley, like,
that's
seriously.
Ash, that's my dog. Like, we do like a whole bunch of stuff together. Or
y'all just went on a day trip to LA.
It was fun. No, it was fun. It was just so hot, but yeah, I did. I do a lot even before this all happened. I do a lot with Ashley, with the kids, basketball. Even after the situation happened,
y'all was doing a lot.
Yeah, I was going to the basketball, helping her with the kids. But yes, yeah, I could say that's one person that's consistent in picking me up, and another person that's consistent in picking me up too is Mar.
Mara?
Yeah.
Or Mar, my bad.
Mar. Get it right. Mar. Get it right. But, all right, just, you know, if I be like, I ain't really feeling it, willing to come get me, like, oh, what can we do? What you want to do, you know?
Showing up for you.
Yeah, showing up for me. Those are, like, the two people that show up for me. Or be like, you want to go? Let's go do it. Let's go over here, you know? Or my friends that live in Texas, they call me, and then my partner on the game, you know, it's just like a whole bunch of, it's like a whole tribe.
You have a system, you have a village.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm thankful for that.
And I said it to say because I just feel the need to, like, apologize for whatever I lack as a friend. And, man, now that I know that I could yoke you up, I definitely will, you know. And this could be an off-camera conversation, but I just want you to know that I do apologize for our lack, and I know I have, you know, and especially from being, like I said, you one of my best friends. So, that we can have conversation off-camera, but I definitely will, like, you know, pick up where I've been lacking as a friend, because I think that life is too short, and you are somebody who has always been there for me. Like, I can text you or call you now about something. I can to something as little as which picture should I post, or something to as big as, like, you know, I really got some real stuff going on. Like, I need somebody to talk to. And even before this situation, you've always been there. You've been there when I was pregnant, when I was going through it early on, because I'm a single mom, college, everything. So, and even now, you still just being present. And I think that I can do a better job reciprocating that. So, and I just appreciate you for you know, never giving up on me as a friend either. You know, even when I have forgot your birthday, and I'm a good friend, y'all. But
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When she got the birthday, I was like, oh yeah.
I'm bad. This is the thing. You know my
No,
memory bad anyway. One of my other
y'all,
friends called me Dory from Finding
bruh,
Nemo because I really got a bad memory.
we've been cool for so
I gotta
long.
start
She
claiming
been,
that.
yeah,
So.
we've been cool for so long. She says this all the time. I got a bad memory. I got
You
a
on my
bad.
calendar? I got all my friends on my calendar now
I do the same
because I
thing
keep
though,
out this man.
but I kind of remember it though. But you know, I feel it though. But yeah, I accept your apology. Thank you for.
What was that?
I accept your apology. Thank you. No, for real. Thank you for taking accountability and noticing that, because some people don't notice that
Yeah.
and won't ever say that. So I appreciate that. And yeah, we could talk about my dog P.O.P.
Hold it down.
Yeah, but you know that's something we could talk about off camera.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I do want to say too that I appreciate you for being open and vulnerable. And I guess I was just telling you that like I want people to come on here. I want it to be healing. I want it to be some discovering, and it's me discovering, you know. But I think for me this is healing.
Yeah.
And a good reminder for me to not be so consumed by what's going on around me, and also to keep my mind on what's important to me too, because you are important to me. You know, my friends, you know, I have family, but I don't have like that. I didn't grow up in that, like,
Yeah.
you know, so my friends are my family. Your mom is my mom. You my sister. And not to, you know, I have a mom, I have sisters, but my friends are so important to me because y'all are my everyday village. Like, y'all have been there through ups and downs. Y'all have seen everything. Y'all allow me to come into y'all family. So y'all are very important for me.
Yeah.
I think just trying to find a balance of, because I have so much going on and I go through so much, and I am also this person for people that everybody come to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I let that consume me to where I isolate and I shut down. And then now I'm just no good for myself and no good for everybody else. But just talking to you and other people too, I'm realizing how I need to do a better job at pouring into myself so that I can show up and show up for you, show up for my friends, for Kylie, because I think that my lack when it comes to you and our relationship is because I don't do a good job of pouring into myself. So when I do have maybe free time or time where I can't come by, I'm so down or stressed or struggling about something that I can't even give myself to nobody else. You know, and then in that time, I'm not even using that time properly to pour into myself, go to God, pray, or just like really sit. And I'm working on it now, and I am growing into that now, which is why I think after so many years I'm able to have this realization with you after talking to you. But and not as an excuse, but really as discovering that about myself and realizing that. And since I'm aware now, changing that narrative and trying to work on that and grow that area in myself and my life. So I just appreciate your patience as a friend and you being vulnerable to come on here and share this story. And I really do hope that it touches people in so many other ways when it comes to friendship, that dynamic, and even just like checking on your health and even not giving up on yourself and faith. You know, I think that's the biggest thing here. And I wanted to say, before we close, like, is there anything that you would like to say to people who may be in a position as you? Because even if it's not the same thing,
just like having a hard time,
or a hard time, something traumatic, anything.
I would say, the main thing, one of the things is to focus on the people that are there and that are showing up. Don't focus on the people that aren't. And also, you gonna have to realize that sometimes people you thought that you was in alignment with, sometimes it's not anymore because you're growing. And it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel some type of way about it, but it's happening for a reason, you know? Yeah. So just focus on the people that do show up for you. Reach out to them. Also, take the time you need to yourself too. And start there too. Because I know sometimes I won't, if I'm going through something, sometimes I'm not even reaching out to nobody. Like, I'll probably talk to my mom, but sometimes I don't even talk to her. I try to figure out myself. Because sometimes people aren't always going to be there to show up for you. So you have to figure it out or do something that helps you. Because some days they're not going to be there. And you need to know, like, okay, when I'm going through this, I need to do this.
Be able to encourage yourself.
Yeah, like, motivate yourself. Because sometimes we can't always depend on other people to help us get through. They can give us a little push, but it starts with yourself. So, yeah, focus on that. Focus on the people that do show up for you. Find out figure out the things that make you happy, that you actually enjoy to do. Like, try different things. Go outside. Go buy some water. All type of things, and figure out that one thing that helps you, that makes you happy, and go from there. And like I said before, you know, focus on the small little wins instead of focus on the big thing, and because that'll make the journey way more easier. So the small little wins that you do get, focus on that. And yeah, I don't know what else I got to say though.
That was good. She didn't drop a dime on y'all. Where can people find you? I know you're not a big social media person, but you be streaming
here and there.
Here and there, okay.
Yeah, I get in like these little moods where I'll be wanting to talk a lot, then I don't. But yeah, I'll be on Instagram every now and then. You know.
You want to shout it out?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, my Instagram is Kiwi. That's KIWEEZE. And if you can't find it, go to Ariel page. I'll be over there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna post my girl.
Yeah.
All right, girl. All right,
yeah,
Bart.
this is beautiful. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is my first podcast.
This is your first podcast.
And my first time. Yeah, my first time talking at all about
and your
this.
first time talking about this. So that's why I'm like, seriously, thank you, because I'm just always so eager to share it because I feel like it'll do something for others.
Yeah, she kept asking me, y'all, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. When I'm ready, I kept telling her I'm ready. But I'm glad I did it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good experience.
And I felt like it would. I felt like in my heart that it would be. Like, not just for other people, but for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think this is something that you've been holding on to, and I feel like it's now a step that you could say you took. You know, and who knows what can come from it for yourself and for others. Because I do always feel like our journeys, our testimonies, obviously are for ourselves, but it's for other people. You know, and I'm always like, what's the point of going through so much if we just gonna keep it within and not use it to continue to thrive and to help other people, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you. I love you.
I love you too.
Y'all, this was another episode of This Might Get Deep. We definitely got deep. And make sure you comment, like, subscribe, let me know. And follow my girl Kiwi. Keep up with her.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Peace, y'all.